Hey you, it's another beautiful day. You want to hear a story? Remember that Great Awakenings poster that I bought not too long ago? It came in a little early and a little bit smaller than I thought it was gonna be. I didn't read the dimensions very well. I just kind of got excited and ordered it, and now it's here, and it's here. We're gonna take a look at it. It's okay. It's okay. I still like it. We're gonna take a look at it, just not today. I have other things planned. So with that being said, let's watch some stuff.
We have liftoff, and certainly the crawl out.
No way, ew!
Alex Shire couldn't bear to see the videos of 13-year cicadas now emerging, up to 1.5 million per acre. We're witnessing a marvel of nature most of the planet won't see, and we'll hear it like we haven't since 2011, when cicada songs drowned out things like air conditioners, even car traffic.
It's supposed to be horrendous.
For the first time since 1803, 13-year and 17-year cicadas will hatch at the same time. Parts of central and eastern Illinois will actually get both. Fewer than 10 of the 5,000 cicada species worldwide have these extended synchronous life cycles. It will all be over by the 4th of July, until this circle of life takes another spin in 2037. Andy Banker, Fox 2 News.
Having been born in California and living here my entire life, I never knew what a cicada was until like '06, and I was a truck driver for a couple of years, and I was going cross country, and I had the window down, and I hear this weird buzzing sound, and being from California, of course, I'm looking for power lines, because sometimes power lines, they be buzzing, but no, they was cicadas. They are freaking loud, and they are ugly little mugs. So ugly. And but both of these coming out right now, they're supposed to be like trillions of bugs just invading these areas where they're both popping out at the same time. Some people are saying that there's some kind of biblical prophecy behind what's happening with the bugs coming out at the same time, but I'll have to look into that a little bit.
What the is that? All right, so one of my good buddies that lives up in Georgia, somewhere in this area, he sent me this really weird video last night. He was having a crazy lightning storm and tornado warnings, so he went outside to film some of it, and at first he caught this. A little orb kind of floating around in a weird way. We've all seen weird stuff like that before, nothing too crazy, right? But then he went outside a few minutes later and he caught this.
Are you kidding me right now? I need to go back out and film some more. What the is going on? There's no way it's water because it would just run down all the way, right? Like, what the is going on? Oh boy.
So he was filming this from an iPhone 13. He was outside. There was no window in front of him to create any kind of reflection like that. He wiped his lens on his phone to make sure it wasn't water droplets. But man, this is super weird. Have you ever seen anything like this? Almost kind of looks like maybe angel wings. You know what else it kind of looks like? It actually looks a lot closer to the bat signal than it does to angel wings. What if it's some kind of UFO that's normally invisible, but it's being exposed because of the lightning storm? Or is it just something on the camera lens causing this optical illusion? I even went on Google to see if anyone else was talking about it or if anyone else saw it, but the last article talking about weird lights in the sky over that area was from July of last year, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that was just Starlink. I've personally known this guy for over 20 years, and trust me, he's not the type of guy to make stuff up like this. If anything, he's usually the guy that will make fun of people who are claiming to see stuff like this. So this is really tripping me out. I don't know what to think, guys. This thing is crazy looking, and if any of you guys were in that area and saw it, drop a comment below.
So normally when somebody says aliens, I'm like, yep, that's totally aliens, but that doesn't really fit the bill. I don't think that's aliens. I don't even know what that is. Normally, I'm like, hey, I have some theory as to what it may be. I may science it up a little bit, but in this instance, I'm completely stumped. I have no clue what that is. Does anybody else know what that is? If you know what it is, let me know. Let us all know, because that's crazy. Hey, it's the part where I get really close. Thank you so much for stopping by. If you're having a good time, please hit that like button and consider subscribing, and then come back tomorrow, because I'm making a new video every day.
I do think dinosaurs were around a lot earlier than we think. I don't think they died 100 million years ago.
I think we were around while the dinosaurs were around.
Oh, yeah.
And I think the pyramids were also in place for when the meteor hit or any natural disaster, people were able to stay in there to survive. Because when the meteor hit, all the dinosaurs,
Yeah.
why didn't the humans die? If there were humans around back then, they say they weren't because there's nowhere to stay. That'd be like a bunker.
Yeah.
All pyramids, like whether it's in Antarctica, Mexico, Egypt, Europe, they've sustained every natural disaster.
Yeah, they never fell.
It would make sense for that to store humans so we can survive.
Like there was some humans that lived.
Whatever dinosaurs, humans stayed in the pyramids.
Ooh, that kind of is kind of hard.
And we were around while dinosaurs were around, and we knew how to tame them. That's why our technology was even better. I'm just saying, it hit different.
I get what you mean, because there's a lot of pictures of like ancient China and ancient like Asia, and they have like dinosaurs in the background, like in the paintings, and they're like carrying stuff, and they're like nobody ever noticed it
And
until
like, yeah, what does it mean? Yeah.
There are actually quite a few people that believe that dinosaurs and humans were around at the same time. A lot of them that I know of are very religious people, and they believe that there were dinosaurs at the same time as humans, or if there weren't dinosaurs at the same time as humans, they weren't nearly as long ago as is being reported 65 million years ago. It was like 2,000 years ago is what some people are saying. There was also that find in Mexico where they found little trinkets that were shaped like dinosaurs, and they were from a period where, as far as modern science is concerned, people didn't know that dinosaurs were around. So it's really interesting. It's a really mixed bag of who thinks what and why, and there's a lot of evidence pointing to the fact that dinosaurs and humans may have been alive at the same time. It's interesting.
Can someone please explain to me why they gotta be going around changing history, because I can't take it anymore. This new Mandela effect's got me all upset. I don't know what to say. I don't know if it happened when they fired up that Super Hadron Collider again during the eclipse. I don't know when it happened, but here's what's going on. Remember when Betsy Ross created the American flag that we know today? Well, no, you don't, because apparently in the reality that we're currently living in, Betsy Ross didn't even invent the American flag. Or I shouldn't say invent, but design, create, sew. She had actually zero part of anything to do with the American flag. You want to know who actually is responsible for the American flag? Francis Hopkinson. Oh, you don't know who Francis Hopkinson is? Well, neither did I. Apparently in this current reality, this current dimension that we've all jumped into, he was a founding father, but I don't remember him. I don't remember his name on the Declaration of Independence. I don't remember even ever hearing about him once a day in my life. But apparently he did all kinds of things. So he exists here, and Betsy Ross, sorry, you are no longer that important, I guess. I don't know. What did you do if you didn't do that? Why do I even know your name? But anyway, if you remember Betsy Ross being the creator of the American flag, then you probably jumped out of the same parallel reality that I did.
I am today years old when I learned that. I thought the same thing. They always taught you. Betsy Ross sewed the first flag, right? She only sewed a flag. Who is this Francis Hopkins fella? Never even heard the name before. That's just... Anybody else remember Betsy Ross and this Francis Hopkins guy? I got nothing. So that looked very not real to me. I don't think that was real. Yeah, I think that was totally fake. No.
This core is leaking, and this might actually help us against climate change. The core is leaking out an ultra-rare gas called helium-3, which is valuable to scientists because there's hardly any of it on our planet, although it's abundant in space. Now, this gas is so rare that only about 0.1 grams of it escapes from the core each year, but it's ideal for nuclear fusion, which can help us produce clean energy if we can extract more of it. So if Earth's a bit more generous, we might be able to solve some of our climate change issues.
So I stumbled across that, and it made me start looking into other things. So we're gonna learn some stuff right now. Check this out.
There is an isotope of helium found in abundance on the moon that could solve Earth's energy demand for 10,000 years in a clean, renewable, and reliable manner. The isotope, known as helium-3, is rare on Earth, but it is found in abundance on the lunar surface and other celestial bodies in our solar system thanks to billions of years of bombardment by solar winds that are carrying a ton of helium-3. In fact, we believe that there is 1.1 million metric tons of helium-3 on our moon alone. To put this into perspective, a single space shuttle cargo bay could hold 25 tons, and this would power the entire United States for an entire year. Now you're probably wondering, okay, Camille, let's go get it. What are we waiting on? All right, well, mining things on the moon is really expensive right now. We don't really have like all the technology that we need, and then we have to figure out how to get it back to Earth. We also need to prove out nuclear fusion and then scale it and commercialize it, which we are still a long way off from.
All right, now hear me out. I don't think we're that far off from that. I think we're getting closer. Actually, I think we've accomplished it. And that's why there's suddenly a new space race and we're going to the moon. Remember this guy?
You don't have health care because we need fucking moon trains!
Yeah, that guy. And that topic. Don't you think it's a little funny how there's a huge space race to the moon all of a sudden? We haven't been there in how long, and suddenly we need to go there? And we're sanctioning all this money for this company to put in trains? It's interesting, isn't it? The way it all kind of goes together. And then they're going to bring this helium-3 stuff back, and they're going to do their nuclear fusion crap, and then like, hey, look what we did. And guess how much it's going to cost? A whole damn lot. Just watch. It's going to happen.
Dude, have y'all heard the conspiracy theory about the fake northern lights and how they were created by HARP? Is what everybody's saying? Let's not forget, they held a research campaign May the 8th through the 10th, 2024. What is HARP, you ask? The High Frequency Active Auroral Research Program is a University of Alaska Fairbanks program which researches the ionosphere. Their favorite little toy, the IRI, is used to temporarily excite a limited area of the ionosphere. Oh, you want more proof? This is from February 27th, 2013. In November, high above the Alaskan sky, a pulse of high-powered emissions from the HARP array, a grid of radio transmitters that can pump high-frequency radio waves up into the atmosphere, kicked off the display of man-made aurora. Yeah, this was 11 years ago. During the experiment, HARP transmitted in the direction of the magnetic Zenith Exmo 4.57 megahertz wave. The transmitted power was modulated with a frequency of 0.9 mHz, and it was pointed on a 20-kilometer spot at an altitude of 120 kilometers. The heating generates disturbances in the magnetic field, detected with the Fluxgate magnometer on the ground, okay? So they're basically zapping stuff up into the ionosphere, and it's making northern lights, pretty much. Before all you fact checkers start crying and stuff, Google it. Is it possible to create artificial northern lights? Scientists use rockets to create the lights. They shoot them up in the air to study things, they say, man. By the way, this is my buddy David Shane's picture, man. What do y'all think about this conspiracy?
That's interesting. I did some research on HARP not too long ago. I did include it in one of my previous videos. If I can find it, I'll leave a link in the description and you can check it out yourself. But they said that those are capable of weather manipulation. I don't know if they resonate the same frequency as like the 5G, and there's a huge ordeal with 5G. 5G is just causing all kinds of problems, right? And I don't know if HARP does the exact same thing, but the fact that it can just shoot stuff up into our ionosphere and create these northern lights, and look, we're having northern lights, and they're like, hey, there's this, solar activity happening. It's an interesting coincidence, isn't it? It's like they kind of preempted and let you know, hey, by the way, we're having some solar activity coming and that's what's causing this. Go ahead and fire it up, guys. Just saying, just saying. My niece did get some really awesome pictures in Missouri, though. It came down super far south. It was crazy.
Nobody talks about this, but the industrial flavorings industry is one of the biggest causes of obesity in America, and the way it's regulated is extremely corrupt. So the main cause of obesity is highly processed food. One of the main reasons why highly processed food causes obesity is something called hyperpalatability. Basically, most junk food is strategically engineered to taste so good that you end up eating more than your body actually needs. If you look at a packaged food label, 99% of the time you will see either artificial flavors or natural flavors. Food manufacturers purchase these formulas from flavoring companies. Flavoring companies employ legitimate chemists who are trying to make the food as palatable as possible. So who regulates what goes into this stuff? This is where it gets sketchy. Flavorings are regulated by a group called FEMA. They oversee the flavor library, which is a list of the 4,000 different chemicals that can be used under the umbrella term of flavors. So who runs this group? You'd think they'd have some independent, impartial individuals. Nope. These are all executives from big food and flavoring companies. They regulate themselves.
That seems awfully familiar. I feel like I may have either used that video or that same information towards the end of that video in a previous episode, but it still rings true. I think it's absolutely incredible how the Food Administration regulates itself. So they can put whatever they want in your food. And they're tricking it out to be super palatable. My husband used to work at a company out here that actually did that. They made the flavorings for a lot of foods. And it's true. There's like a room where there is an actual freaking chemist. And you're not allowed to go in there while they're in there working their magic, trying to find this new flavor for this company. And yeah, and then they go and mass produce it and ship it out. But it's crazy. They're really, it's brilliant. It's brilliant. It's capitalism at its finest.
That Tyson layoff actually occurred very close to me, and that small Iowa town is devastated. This story is wild, and what I found in the rabbit hole is even crazier. So they're saying they're laying off these 1,200 workers because there's a declining demand. But then a few days later, they go on and say that they're excited to hire 52,000 asylum seekers. This is where it just gets nuts, because the more I research this, I notice there's a trend with Tyson Foods that they go look for undocumented workers. In 1998, there was an undercover agent that was working with a Tyson food manager, and they asked this undercover agent to find 2,000 Guatemalan workers, and they were willing to give them $200 as a recruitment fee. They were able to indict 4 major managers at Tyson Foods, and they were able to, between 2001 and 2003, the INS was able to collaborate with other federal agencies and actually bring on 36 counts against Tyson Food. And this is where my mind is blown, because they were able to get away with it because they were willing to work with the government and use an INS basic pilot program, which is allowed to verify the right to work of newly hired workers. As long as the #1 biggest meat packing plant was willing to work with the government, they were able to get around this allegation. All 36 counts dismissed.
Well, no wonder Tyson is doing what they're doing. They've done it before, and they got away with it. So yeah, I mean, the American government is so damn deep in their pockets, you know, why would they even bother saying anything? Oh yeah, don't worry about the American people, they'll figure it out. Drives me crazy. Drives me freaking crazy. Are we still boycotting Tyson, by the way? There's a lot of products that are actually made by the Tyson company that I didn't realize. I'm pretty sure I haven't been buying any of them lately, but yeah. On that note, I'm going to call it here. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I totally appreciate every single second of your time. If there's a topic you'd like me to cover, please Let me know down in the comments below and I'll do my best to get it in an upcoming video. And come on back tomorrow because we're gonna watch different stuff. I'm gonna say different things and it's gonna be fantastic. Until then, have a wonderful day.